The light entered without effort, through a narrow window facing the street. Pale, steady, a metal table stood against the wall, cold to the touch, unmoved. The floor held faint marks from years of passing feet. Somewhere below, a door closed softly. Cleveland woke up like this in 1961. No announcements, no urgency, just the quiet certainty of another day beginning. Back then it felt ordinary, the kind of morning that asked for nothing. The room stayed still, as if waiting, and within that stillness, something unnoticed was already taking shape. He lived not far from the river, in a part of Cleveland where morning smelled faintly of metal and oil. In 1961, his days followed a pattern that rarely changed. He woke early, not out of ambition, but habit. The factory whistle marked the hour better than any clock. He dressed the same way each morning: shirt, jacket, shoes worn in familiar places. Outside, the streets filled slowly, men walking with purpose, others simply moving. He worked with precision, repeated motions, tasks learned long ago. There was comfort in knowing what was expected. At lunch, he ate without thinking much about it. Food was fuel, conversation was background noise. After work, he walked home at an even pace, past the same storefronts, the same faces, aging quietly alongside him. Evenings were predictable. Dinner, a chair near the window, the radio low. He listened without really hearing. The city felt stable then, solid, like it would always provide enough. He did not feel rushed. Opportunities, if they existed, felt distant, abstract. Life seemed to unfold on its own schedule. Tomorrow looked reliable. So did the day after that. Nothing felt urgent enough to interrupt the rhythm. And in that steady movement of days, he believed he had time, plenty of it. It came disguised as a normal interruption, a conversation that lasted slightly longer than expected, a pause where none was planned. Someone mentioned an idea in passing, not formally, not with insistence, just enough to be heard. He listened without reacting. The words settled briefly, then hovered. It sounded possible, manageable, not urgent, the kind of thing that could wait. He nodded, asked a small question, nothing that committed him, nothing that closed a door. The moment did not announce itself as important. No shift in the air, no sudden clarity, only a quiet sense that something had been placed in front of him. He felt the impulse to respond more fully, to lean forward, to ask what would come next, but the day pressed on. The rhythm pulled him back. He told himself it deserved more thought. Another day, a better time. The opportunity remained open, at least in his mind. He believed it would stay that way, that things meant for him would return if left untouched. The conversation moved on. Laughter replaced it. Work resumed. The moment slipped behind the noise of routine. He noticed its absence only briefly, like realizing you forgot something, then deciding it wasn't important enough to retrieve. He finished his shift, walked home, passed the river without looking at it. The city hummed as always. Dinner tasted the same. The radio filled the room with familiar voices. The idea surfaced once more, quietly, as he sat near the window. It felt unfinished, but unfinished things often do. He told himself there would be another chance to return to it. Opportunities, he believed, were patient. They waited for the right moment, and the right moment, surely, would be easier to recognize. He did not feel as though he had chosen anything. He had simply continued, and continuation, at the time, felt harmless, natural, safe. The night arrived without resistance. He turned off the light, let the day close around him, and somewhere, without sound or signal, the opportunity began to drift. Not gone, just no longer close enough to touch. Time moved the way it always had, quietly, without asking for permission. Days folded into one another. Weeks passed without markers. Seasons changed, noticeable only by the weight of his coat or the length of the light in the evenings. He stayed where he was. The factory floor changed machines. New faces appeared. Others disappeared without explanation. He adjusted without effort. Routine made adaptation easy. The opportunity did not return in the same shape. But traces of it appeared now and then. A passing comment, a rumor of someone else leaving, a story overheard and quickly forgotten. He noticed these moments but did not connect them. Life continued to ask for his attention in smaller, more practical ways. Bills, meals, sleep. The city shifted around him. Cleveland grew louder in some places, quieter in others. Buildings changed hands. Streets were repaved. The river kept moving. He aged without ceremony. His hands stiffened slightly in the mornings. His steps slowed, just enough to feel normal. Work became less demanding, then less certain. Eventually it ended, not abruptly, gradually. Like a sound fading in the distance, he filled the space with habit. Morning still came. He still dressed, still walked, still sat by the window in the evenings. Sometimes he thought about how his life had stayed largely the same, stable, predictable. He took comfort in that. Stability felt like proof of good choices. Years later, standing in the same room, he noticed how quiet it had become. The radio stayed off more often. Conversations were shorter now. He had more time than before. Time stretched, wide and empty. And occasionally, in that space, a thought surfaced. Not sharp, not painful, just present. A sense that something had moved past him while he wasn't looking. He did not chase the feeling. There was no urgency. Life had taught him that most things settled on their own. He trusted that. He had trusted it for decades. The past felt fixed, complete. And because nothing had gone wrong in any obvious way, he assumed nothing important had been missed. The days continued to arrive, one after another, calm, orderly, unremarkable. And in that quiet continuity, the distance between then and now grew so wide it no longer felt measurable. He lived comfortably inside that distance, until time, as it sometimes does, slowed just enough to be noticed. It arrived in a moment that asked for nothing, no announcement, no warning. He was sorting through things he no longer used, holding an object with no real purpose left. It took longer than it should have. His hands paused. The room felt unfamiliar for a second, as if it had shifted while he wasn't looking. The light came in lower now, softer. It revealed details he had stopped noticing. That was when the thought surfaced. Not suddenly, not forcefully. It rose the way memories do when there is finally space for them. He remembered the conversation, the pause, the idea left hanging between words. It returned without emotion at first, just clarity. He saw the moment as it was, not as he had framed it. He understood then that it had never been waiting. It had only been present once, briefly. The opportunity had not faded over time. It had moved forward the same way everything else had. He realized how easily he had mistaken patience for permanence, how often he had assumed that what mattered would circle back when he was ready. The understanding came in pieces, a thought, then a silence, then another thought. He did not feel anger toward himself or regret in the dramatic sense. What he felt was recognition, a quiet alignment between past and present. He saw how much of his life had been shaped not by action, but by continuation, by choosing not to interrupt the familiar. The moment did not demand correction. It asked only to be seen clearly. He sat down slowly, let the memory stay where it was. He did not push it away, did not soften it. The room felt fuller now, as if something unnamed had finally taken its place. He understood that clarity does not change the past. It simply removes the distance between then and now. The opportunity had not been taken, not lost, just allowed to pass. And in that realization, he felt no urgency to move, only the weight of understanding settling into something permanent, calm, undeniable, enough. Some opportunities do not announce themselves as such. They arrive quietly, they blend into ordinary days. He understood that now, not as a lesson, but as a fact. Life had not asked him to choose in bold strokes. It had asked in smaller ways, through pauses, through moments that felt optional. He saw how easily a life could be shaped by what it never resisted, by paths kept simply because they were already there. He had lived responsibly, consistently. He had shown up, stayed, provided. From the outside, his life appeared complete, and in many ways it was. But completeness, he realized, is not the same as fulfillment. Some things are not missing because they were taken. They are missing because they were never invited in. He did not feel the need to name the opportunity anymore. Naming it would not give it weight. Time had already done that. What remained was an understanding that certain moments only reveal their meaning after they are no longer reachable, not to punish, but to clarify. He accepted that waiting is also a decision, one that feels safe because it looks like patience. He had confused the two for a long time. Now, with fewer days ahead than behind, that distinction felt clear. He did not feel bitterness, only honesty. A recognition that life is often decided in silence, not action. He sat with that thought, let it settle. The room did not feel heavy, just still. And in that stillness, he felt something close to peace. Not because things had turned out perfectly, but because he finally understood how they had turned out at all. The opportunity did not wait.